Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the big topics. Okay, let's dive right into this AI news brief because a major update just dropped that's really going to change how we all interact with this tech. So that AI you've probably been using just about every day, yeah, it just got a pretty significant upgrade. This new version is all about making your daily chats feel way more natural and honestly just more useful. So, this update, which came out today, March 3rd, 2026, isn't about some flashy, brand new feature. Instead, it's all about refining the core experience. You know, the tone, how relevant the answers are, and just the overall smoothness of the conversation. The whole idea is to make the AI feel less like a clunky tool and a lot more like a helpful partner. The goal here is actually pretty simple: get you better answers with way less friction. I mean, we've all been there, right? This update is really a direct response to that frustrating feeling we sometimes get. So let's take a look at what that actually means in practice. You know how the AI could sometimes get super defensive? It would give you these long, preachy lectures or just flat out refuse to answer questions it should be able to. Well, this new version is designed to have much better judgment and get rid of those conversational dead ends. Okay, but talk is cheap, right? What's really fascinating is seeing how this actually plays out. The best way to see the difference is to just look at it. So let's check out some direct side-by-side comparisons. First up, someone's asking a totally reasonable technical question. It's about physics and math, exactly the kind of thing an AI should be great at. But let's see how the old and new models handle it. And wow, this one picture tells the whole story. Look at the left. The old model gives you this long lecture on what it can't do, putting up all these walls. But on the right, the new model just gets straight to helping. It understands what you want and just asks for the details it needs. It's all about more help and way less hassle. All right, let's try another one. This time, it's a question about a really recent event, something that requires sorting through a ton of real-time info from the web. Okay, this is a huge one. The old model gives a stale answer. It talks about Juan Soto, who was a big deal, but from the previous offseason. The new model, though, correctly nails that Kyle Tucker's recent deal is the defining move of this offseason and even breaks down what it means for the league. This shows it's not just reading the web, it's understanding and prioritizing what's new and important. Now for something totally different, a question that's way more personal and nuanced. This is where the tone is absolutely everything. And you can see the tonal shift immediately. The older version starts with this kind of patronizing platitude, "You're not broken," but the new version, it just drops that and gives you a really structured, insightful breakdown of the city's unique dating scene. The whole thing just feels more mature, more direct, and in the end, a lot more useful. So beyond just feeling better to talk to, this update also brings some serious improvements under the hood, especially when it comes to accuracy and the quality of its writing. And here's the hard data to back that up. We're talking about a nearly 27% drop in factual errors, or hallucinations, on really complex topics like finance, law, or medicine. That is a significant jump in reliability, especially when the stakes are high. And you can see it plain as day right here. The bar for the new model is just consistently lower, which means it's making stuff up a lot less often. And that holds true whether it's using the web or just relying on its own internal knowledge. But it's not all about cold, hard facts. The model is also getting much, much better at capturing things like nuance and emotion when you ask it to do creative writing. It's becoming a stronger writing partner. So here's a poem from the older model. The prompt was about a retiring mailman in Philly. It's pretty good, it's sentimental, but now, listen to how the new version handles the exact same prompt.
You can really feel the difference, can't you? The new poem uses these concrete, lived-in details, like the one with the chipped blue rail. It builds this much more powerful emotional feeling because it shows you instead of just telling you. It just feels more real.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this all sounds great, but what does it mean for me right now? How do I get my hands on this? Well, the best news is that this upgrade is live for all ChatGPT users starting today. It's also ready for developers in the API. And you might want to mark your calendars because the older model is going to be officially retired in 3 months on June 3rd. Now, even though this is a big step forward, it's not perfect. There are still some known limitations. For example, conversations in languages like Japanese and Korean can still feel a bit stiff, so making that flow feel just as natural across all languages is still a major focus. Ultimately, this update just makes AI a more seamless part of our daily lives, which kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. as these tools become less clunky and more intuitive, how is that going to change the way we approach problems or creativity or even just our own thoughts? Thanks for joining this explainer.